we'll get right into it. It all started Thursday night. Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. This was our special Check the Mic watch-along for all of our members. We had a lot of fun with the watch-along. Seahawks get the win to move to 3-1. Also at the point of the season where I don't have every record memorized off the top of my head. I got to double-check. And now those idiots in Green Bay and Dallas had to add a whole tie to the mix to really mess with me. Hate that. I got to say a 1 for those teams. Anyway, Seattle moves to 3-1. Arizona 2-2. Turned out to be a pretty fun end-of-game scenario here. Seattle was up a couple scores. Arizona got it back to 20-20. Seattle kicks the game-winning field goal, though, to take control-ish of the NFC West, sitting there tied for first with the Rams.
Yeah, strange game. We did the watch-along over here in our couch set over on the other side of the studio, so that was fun for all members. It was one of those games where we were focusing so much on Marvin Harrison Jr., who had another sort of nightmare to begin with, he was becoming one of these receivers where it's like, it's starting to get uncomfortable watching him. Like, whatever about where his ceiling lies, how good he's going to be or not in the NFL, he's clearly a receiver who's lost all confidence whatsoever in his own ability, and he's making plays that, like, no high-end receiver should be making. And then, they kind of rediscovered his touch. Like, he made a great classic college Marvin Harrison Jr. play in the end zone, going up and mossing a guy and actually making a play. Him and Kyler connected in the second half. They almost came all the way back. And then ultimately, Seattle ended up finding a way of making it happen. You're like, well, that was the right result. I mean, the Seahawks were the better team for the majority of this game, let Arizona back into it, and it became a close game again. But for the majority of the game, we were like, well, one team is better than the other. The other team has got this drama dynamic of receiver and quarterback still not able to connect, and then all that went away for a few minutes and almost changed the whole thing.
If you didn't catch it, I mean, everybody caught Marvin Harrison Jr. when he caught his touchdown over Devin Witherspoon, a great play.
Yep.
Almost relieved to make that catch. I mean, it was
almost. I mean, very relieved.
Very relieved. I mean, it was an emotional moment, right? We talk a lot about these receivers through the years who it feels like everything that they're near is, bad stuff happens, or they're always close to interceptions or whatever it may be. Earlier in the game, Marvin Harrison Jr., was it a drop?
Definitely had a drop.
Well, there was a drop that led to an interception.
Yep.
The first interception, he quit on the route.
Yep. Weirdly.
I thought it was strange. Again, I saw some people trying to say, well, Kyler was like, he looked like he was about to start the scramble drill, and maybe that. But
that was what I was saying. It looked like for a split second, it looked like he thought about flipping right the way back outside, like the sort of almost the blaze out type of route where you fake in, then go all the way back. And if that could have been the same thing. He was reading, is the quarterback about to bail? If he is, I got to go back out, and then no, continue. And by the time he'd done that, he'd basically stopped the route. These are the things that only happen to receivers whose confidence is sort of shot at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there was 2 interceptions, and then after the drop and the route. There was he stopped on the route for an interception. There was a miscommunication where Kyler threw a quick out and Marvin ran the go ball, and then they finally are on the same page on a slant, and Marvin drops it and just comically tips it up, and it gets intercepted. So everything was bad for a while, but he did a good job redeeming himself with a couple big plays, including the touchdown. So that was a big part of the story. And then Seattle generally, another very clean, efficient game from Sam Darnold. I mean, I said on our post game was this is the Shanahan-Kubiak style working extremely well, where you don't have a high volume passing attack from Sam Darnold. They're running the ball a lot, and they were pretty good running the ball the other night. But you're running the ball at a high volume, and Darnold's just working a ton of play action, taking shots down the field. 18 of 26 for 242 and a touchdown in another game where he just looked really comfortable. And then when the game was on the line, they get one-on-one on the outside. They're trying to get in position for a game-winning field goal, and it's Darnold to Jackson Smith and Jigba for a big gain to set that up. So, it was a good game, and I thought Seattle was the better team. Almost, lost it at the end there.
Yeah,
but they did a good job to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Impressed with Seattle's defense and the way they're playing on that side of the ball overall as well. Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that. Hit that subscribe button, and now let's get back to the action.
Yeah, and that division, I think, is going to be a fun one throughout the season. Like, all 4 teams pretty competitive right now. You know, during the week, I was on a couple of radio shows, and like, you know, who are the contenders in the NFL? You're like, the main ones I think are fairly obvious, but it feels like there's a contender to come from that division. I just don't know who it is yet. You know, could be Seattle, could be the Rams. I think there's one more, like, legit Super Bowl contender from that division, but we need to wait and see, watch it shake out to figure out which one.
We'll see Rams-Niners this Thursday night. So the other 2 teams playing Thursday Night Football in the NFC West. So the Seahawks, they moved to 3-1. Cardinals 2-2. Losses the last 2 weeks after beating the Saints and Panthers the first 2 weeks. So I think there's still some questions about Arizona. Their offense, just very inconsistent, right? Credit to the Seattle defense, but Arizona's offense, very inconsistent. I love the way they play defensively. I think we expected them to be much more competitive on the defensive side of the ball week in, week out. I think we're seeing that from the Cardinals. Still have questions about the offense, especially without James Conner.
Yeah.
And trying to get that balance going with the run game and the pass game.
You see there are now trade rumors swirling around Reek Woolen. Witherspoon back in the lineup, so teams apparently are calling about Woolen.
He has not been a favorite of Mike McDonald and company. I do wonder if Pete Carroll and the Raiders.
That's the obvious connection.
I don't know if it's this week or next week. At some point, I mean, the trade deadline's been pushed back. It used to be, week 6? It used to be time. But we're getting to the point where you have some 1-3, 0-4 teams, and there might be some trade candidates. I don't know if Wednesday is a good time, but maybe next week start getting into some of those trade rumors.
But that's the interesting one where, like, Seattle are not going to be bad. You know, normally it's the teams that are losing that are fire sailing team or players and getting rid of them. This would be a weird one where the Seahawks are actually looking very good and potentially not interested in keeping around one of their players.
He's in the last year of his contract, so clearly they're not looking to lock him up long term. And again, it's a strange career for Woolen, who you know, as a athletic freak, hit the ground running immediately and then didn't necessarily get better. It wasn't like the year 3 or 4 breakout as we had maybe anticipated. Anything else on Thursday Night Football?
Nope. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
And the all-knowing algorithm is convinced you'll also like these videos, and who are we to argue?